Assalamu alaikum everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. So we're going to be starting with our mock shortly. I am going to be uploading the mock. You can access the mock and download it from the description, from the video description. Okay. And okay guys, so I have turned off the comments because we are starting with our mock exam. Share the video link with everyone and ask them to join because this mock is timed and I'm going to be uploading the mock in just a minute. Okay, so let everyone know that they should join, and the mock will be for 1 hour, and I want you guys to sort of time yourself and do it. Okay, so okay, so I'm uploading the paper now. Okay guys, the mock paper has been uploaded on the group description, on the video description link. You guys can access it. Click on the description of the video, and there's a link there. Just go and and start your mock. Okay. I am also going to be posting the description over here as well. Okay, and you guys can now go and start your paper. Okay, and I'm going to be closing these comments so that no one, and we'll get back in an hour. Okay, guys. Let's now get back to the solutions and let's see. इसको करें. So okay. Okay, so question number 1. Yes, let's discuss. I want you guys to start writing the answers that you have given in the comments in the chat box, so that I can know कि आप लोगों ने क्या क्या answers किए हैं, and then let's take it on from here. So question number 1. G, what's the answer to question number 1? Question number 1, guys. I want all of you to please comment and write your answers in the chat box so that I can have an idea on how you have been doing. Question number 1, it says a free good has the correct answer to question number 1 would be boy. A free good has zero opportunity cost in its supply, because we know that a free good is one that is available in abundance and in abundant quantity, and it does not use up scarce resources. And since there is no scarce resources that are being used up, it has zero opportunity cost to produce. Right, so boy is the correct answer. The equilibrium market price can be defined. The equilibrium market price can be defined as the price at which. Question number 2. The correct answer to question number 2 would be. Yes, guys. The correct answer to question number 2 would be A for apple. The market where the market for the product clears, right? So equilibrium price is a price where the market for the product clears itself, and is a price where demand would equal supply, and the price where basically the market clears. Question number 3: the free market equilibrium is the free market equilibrium price for a merit good is 50 per unit. At present, the government does not intervene in the market for this good. The government is most likely to correct the market failure associated with this merit good. Question number 3. Yes, what's the correct answer to question number 3? Yes, guys, what's the correct answer to question number 3? The correct answer would be D for David. Subsidizes the free market. No, it's not going to be A. It's going to be D for David, because it clearly says that the free market equilibrium price for merit good is 50, and then it says the government does not intervene in the market. So the government is most likely to correct this sort of market failure with this merit good if it subsidizes the free market price, which means it's going to make sure that it reduces the price. It's going to intervene. So when you're intervening, you're actually forcefully trying to push down the price through giving an artificial advantage to producers. So the correct answer to question number 3 should be D for David, and that would move the price closer to the price that would be socially optimal rather than the free market price, right? So question number 3 should be David. It can't be A imposes a maximum price above 50. It can't be. The reason why it's my iPad screen is stuck. Just a second. Let me. वो मैं कर लेता हूँ उसको भी सही. Just a second. Give me a second. Is the iPad screen fine now? Guys, is it moving up and down nicely? Thank you, guys. ठीक है. Question number 3. अभी सही है iPad का screen? Just let me know. Okay. Okay. Question number 3. The answer why question number 3 is it? Let me know, is the iPad screen fine or not? The answer to question number 3 basically is not going to be A. And the reason why it's not going to be A is because if you're imposing a maximum price, above the equilibrium price, it will have, no effect. So it says imposing a maximum price above $50 per unit. So it won't really have an effect because the maximum price is imposed below the equilibrium, not above the equilibrium, right? That is why option A is not correct as well. Question number 4 says the table shows 4 possible sources of market failures in the current UK markets. Which combination of example and policies A, B, C, D is consistent with the possible sources of market failure identified? Yes, question number 4. Question number 4, Sarah says A, Shayan says D for David, Fazan says D for David, Samra says why can't C be of 3? Taxes of beta merit goods पे तो टैक्स नहीं लगेगा ना. मेरिट गुड्स पे आप टैक्स लगाओगे तो प्राइस और बढ़ जाएगी. डीमेरिट गुड्स पे टैक्स लगता है ना. आपको मेरिट गुड्स की प्राइस को तो यू नीड टू रिड्यूस द प्राइस ऑफ मेरिट गुड्स ना. यू डोंट नीड टू इंक्रीज द प्राइस ऑफ मेरिट. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 का जो करेक्ट आंसर होना चाहिए, it should be Hassan Munir says A. No beta, it is not A. The answer to question number 4 should be D for David. And the reason why it should be D for David is because see, sources of market failure, if you look at option number D, it says negative production externalities, right? And negative production externalities may electricity generation would definitely because when you during that electricity production obviously it would generate negative production externalities, and one way to correct is that you basically implement pollution permits. And pollution permits is a simple government market-based intervention method to internalize the external cost from production, such as in the electricity generation, right? So option number D would be the correct answer. All the rest of the answer options are incorrect. If you look at option number A, public goods, healthcare is not an example of public good. Healthcare is a private good. Option B, positive consumption externality, education is an example of positive consumption externality. But if you impose a minimum price, that is not the way to correct it. Yes, maximum price ho sakta hai above the equilibrium, but option B is not correct. Petrol is not a merit good, and okay. So all the other options are incorrect. So question number 5. Yes, the answer to question number 5 should be, yes guys, question number 5. Question number 5 ka answer kya hoga? Let's look at question number 5 now. Question number 5. G. Question number 5 says good X is related to good Y. Incomes increase and the price of good Y falls. Which combination would give the greatest increase in the demand of good X? What is the correct answer to question number 5? Ariha says it is C. Fazan says C. Man says C. Gillen says C. And the correct answer to question number 5 is C. Nature of good X, agar normal good hai, yes, and the relationship between good X and good Y has to be complement, because it says good X and good Y are related, incomes are increasing, and if the incomes would increase, then we know that the demand for normal goods has to go up, right? So normal goods ki demand would go up, and if the demand, and obviously the thing is that if good Y is a complement, then what would happen is that X and Y are jointly demanded. So if the price of good Y is going to go down, then people will not only buy more good Y, but they will also buy more good X, so demand for good X will go up. So yes, that is why this they're saying combination, right? So normal goods and X and Y have to be complements. They have to be jointly demanded for question number 5 to for question number 5 option C to be the correct answer. Question number 6 says that the two diagrams below show the market for good X and good Y. The market are initially in equilibrium at P1 and Q1. If the supply of good X increases and both markets move to equilibrium at P2, it may be concluded that good X and good Y are. Yes guys, question number 6. Yes guys, question number 6. The answer to question number 6, Umayma Ahmad says A, Fahim says A, Suhaima Ahmad says A. Okay, let's see whether it's A or B. Yes guys, competitive demand, Hassan Munir says A, and the answer to question number 6 is A. So and the reason it is A is like everyone got it correct. Mostly I'm seeing everyone is giving the right answer. So competitive demand, and it makes sense because if the supply for good X is shifting to the right, then the price of good X is going down, and if the price of good X is going down, then people are going to buy more of good X, right? And people are going to buy more of, if the price of good X is going up, people are going to buy more of good X via an extension in demand. But at the same time, they are going to buy less of good Y because they'll buy more of good X, right? So they'll substitute X for Y, which means that the demand for good Y has to go down, and they are in competitive demand. Competitive demand means that they both are substitutes. Got it? So question number 6, A for alpha is the correct answer. And up tak sabke kya sahi aa rahe hain? What are your scores? Are you guys getting all the right answers up till now? Question number 7, student says the market demand and supply for a product are given as QD equals QS. If the government imposes a price floor of $15, what is the disequilibrium in the market gonna be? Yes, question number 7. What is the disequilibrium in the market gonna be for question number 7? Yes, what did you guys write for question number 7? Shayan says A. For question number 7, the correct answer, Hassan says B, Fahim says A. The correct answer for question number 7 is A. It is not B, Hassan. The reason being, so you need to calculate the quantity demanded. So quantity demanded would be 120 minus 2 times the price, which is the quantity demanded is actually how much? 120 minus 30 would be how much? 120 minus 30 would be 90, and quantity supplied would be 20 plus 4 into 15, which is 15 times 4 is what? 60 plus 15 times 4 is 60 plus 20 is 80. I think 15. So for question number 7, okay. So for question number 7, जो है वो let me see this. The answer has to be 10. Actually, the answer has to be 10, which is I think not mentioned here. Am I right? It's not mentioned here, right? So actually ये 0 नहीं है, ये 10 है. ये misprint हो गया है, इसको please correct कर लें. This is actually 10. This is not 0. So your quantity demanded is 90, and your quantity supplied is 80. So 90 being more than 80, which means that you have a shortage of 10. So what will be the disequilibrium in the market? So there would be a 10 units ka shortage. I'm sorry about that, this is a misprint, please rectify this. So the answer is 10 basically. Okay guys, so A jo hai, that is basically 10 units, it's not 0. So you have a disequilibrium of 10. Got it? Are we good till here? सही है. सो अगर आप लोगों ने 0 मार्क किया था, अगर आप लोगों ने एक सेकेंड guys, just I mean, how many of you think it is 10? How many of you think it is 10? How many of you think it is 10? And how many of you think it is 0? Hanji. How many question, how many of you think it is 10 and how many of you think it is 0? हाँ बोलो. हाँ वो मैंने, हाँ मैं देख लिया, वो देख लिया मैंने. ओके थैंक. जी, व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज द राइट आंसर? 10 है या 0 होगा? पहले तो ये बताया मुझे. Why do you think it is 0? Zero क्यों होगा शायान? अच्छा, what is a price floor? What do you think is actually a price floor? Is it above the equilibrium or is it below the equilibrium? हाँ जी. मेरे हिसाब से the answer is 0. This is correct. This wasn't an error. This is actually correct. The correct answer is A. And I'll tell you why is it A. Look at this. So basically technically अगर आप इसका वैसे तो इसको डायग्राम पे ये रिप्रेजेंट नहीं हो पाएगा, मतलब, लेकिन मैं फिर भी आपको समझा देता हूँ. So it's you need to understand that for instance a price floor is a minimum price, right? And what the minimum price does is that a minimum price is set above the equilibrium, and when it is set above the equilibrium the supply gets more than demand, right? तो यहाँ पे तो the idea of a supply, the supply has to be more than demand, right? The minimum price जो होती है वो basically surplus create करती है, shortage create नहीं करती है. ठीक है, तो अगर आप प्राइस फ्लोर अबव द इक्विलिब्रियम रख रहे हैं, इफ यू कीपिंग अ प्राइस फ्लोर अबव द इक्विलिब्रियम, सही है, सो यू कैन क्लियरली सी कि प्राइस फ्लोर अबव द इक्विलिब्रियम के ऊपर कोई डिसइक्विलिब्रियम नहीं होगा. उसकी वजह यह है कि when there would be a price floor that is set above the equilibrium, so the quantity demanded would be 90. ठीक है, the quantity demanded is 90. तो यही तो इसमें ट्रिक है. It's a very good question. The quantity demanded would be 90 and basically the quantity supplied is 80. So all of the quantity that is being demanded is actually being supplied, right? बात समझ में आ रही है? ठीक है, so it's basically ineffective in that sense. Okay, so A is the correct answer. It is non-binding. Clear? Got it? Anyways, A is the correct answer. 0 units. There won't be any disequilibrium over here. Question number 7. A is the correct answer. 0 units. So they just sort of screwed, right? होगा ही नहीं ना, ऐसा पॉसिबल ही नहीं है ना. समरा इज सेइंग के शॉर्ट ये दिस इज थ्योरेटिकली इनकरेक्ट कि शॉर्टेज क्रिएट हो above the equilibrium price. तो मतलब if you plug in these, basically what's happening here is कि if you plug in these values तो हमारे पास 90 और 80 आ रहा है ना. So you're saying कि भाई 90 की सारी excess demand जो है वो, I mean 90 की demand 80 की supply पूरी करेगा तो एक shortage है. ये shortage भी नहीं है क्योंकि shortage आ नहीं सकती basically. So this is a non-binding price floor. Non-binding price floor means कि equilibrium price ही prevail करेगी basically. ठीक है? Non-binding price floor, so basically it means that the equilibrium price is going to prevail, so there is no shortage or no surplus. So there is no disequilibrium here. Got it? समझे? आप क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड की इक्वेशन क्या है? आप देखें, मैं आपको एक और तरीके से भी बता देता हूं. क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड इज इक्वल्स टू क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड, राइट? इक्विलिब्रियम क्या होता है? व्हाट इज द इक्विलिब्रियम? क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड इक्वल्स क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड इज इक्विलिब्रियम. अब सुने, मैं आपको दोबारा से बता रहा हूं, ये दिस इज अ वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग क्वेश्चन एंड अ वेरी गुड वन एज वेल. क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड इक्वल्स क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड, राइट? तो 120 minus 2p is the demand equation which equals to 20. अब I want you everyone to follow कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. Yeah, I want you to follow this. 20 plus 4p, right? 120 minus 2p equals 20 plus 4p. Can you guys calculate the value of p? तो अगर quantity demanded quantity supplied के बराबर है, so this price has to be the equilibrium price. तो calculate करते हैं price की value क्या आ रही है. ये हो जाएगा minus 2p, नहीं sorry, minus 2p minus 4p equals to 20 minus 120. तो could you solve me the value of p? The value of p is 16.67. अब अगर इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस आपकी 16.67 है तो प्राइस फ्लोर 15 हो सकता है. इफ द इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस इज 16.67, सो क्या प्राइस फ्लोर जो है वो 15 हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता? हो सकता है 15. जी, एक चीज है कि अगर मेरी इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस 16.67 है, when the market clears itself at 16.67, when the market clears itself at 16.67, can the price floor be above the equilibrium price? Is it good? So a price, if you're setting a price floor, let's say if you're setting a price floor, अगर आपकी equilibrium price is if the market clearing price is 16.67, then the price floor has to be more than 16.67. Let's say it has to be 20 or 18 or 17. Only then it, otherwise if you are setting a price floor which is less than the equilibrium price, then what have you studied in economic theory? It is ineffective. So the question is saying, what will be the disequilibrium in the market? The disequilibrium in the market would be very simple. It would be how much? It would be 0. Okay guys, समझ आ गया? Are we good with this now? Is that a yes from everyone? Guys, is that a yes from everyone? Is that a yes from everyone? Everyone, could you comment yes so that you guys can see the a simple minimum maximum price का question है. But if जिन I mean I'm happy with a few people who actually got this right. Fazan got it right, and I think a few more got it right as well. So that is absolutely great and a good question actually. Question number 8 says product X has a price elasticity of demand of -3. Product Y has a PED of 0.2. Which combination of characteristics is correct? Yes, guys. Which combination of characteristics is correct? What would be the answer to question number 8? Question number 8. Question number 8 would be B for boy. Are you sure? Yes. Question number 8 would be B for boy. It's a simple question. Question number 8 would be B for boy. And the reason is that PED जो है वो -3 है. It has many substitutes. Product Y is less than 1. It is inelastic. So inelastic means it is a necessity, or it has necessities don't have many substitutes. Question number 9. Which of the following combination of statements about a public good is correct? Yes, which of the following combination of statements about a public good is correct? Statement 1, statement 2. Consumption by one person does not reduce. Yes, what would be the answer to question number 9? Question number 9. Yes, guys, question number 9, a lot of people are saying it should be C. And the correct answer to question number 9 is C. Non-payers can act as free riders. Because public goods, we know that public goods may the problem of non-rivalry and non-excludability. You can't really prevent. Free riders cannot be prevented in a public good. So statement 1 to sahi hai, and this is non-excludability. The fact that free riders cannot be prevented, and consumption by one person does not reduce this is non-rivalry. So question number 9 is C. Question number 10 says the table below shows the market for a product before the imposition of indirect tax. Question number 10. Yes, guys, what did you guys mark for question number 10? 10. Yes, guys, 10. Question number 10. G. Question number 10. क्या mark किया है सबने question number 10 को लेके? What is question number 10? The correct answer to question number 10 is, how many of you actually know how to solve this question? The correct answer to question number 10 हम कैसे करेंगे? ऐसे करेंगे that so basically it's saying 10 is not D for David. 10 is not D. No, it is not D. Metallic, it is not D. B is also incorrect. A is the correct answer. Let me tell you how you need to do this. Basically, agar price and quantity demanded दी हुई है, and then first let's figure out the equilibrium. The equilibrium would occur at a price of 16 where demand is exactly equal to supply. So you need to understand that this price is basically the price consumer pays, but the price consumer pays is not the price the producer receives, because you see, after the tax is imposed, the basically the amount that the consumer would receive, that the producer would receive, or the amount the consumer would pay, the producer would deduct the tax and give it to the government. So let's now do one thing. So iska tarika ye hota hai ki you need to calculate the price producer receives, right? And uska simple tarika ye hai, price producer receives. How do you calculate that? You deduct what the price consumer pays minus indirect tax. So there is a indirect tax of specific tax of 4 pounds का tax है for so basically आप करोगे क्या, that you will deduct 20. So what you will do is that you will deduct 4 from 20. So this would be 20 minus 4 would be 16. Then deduct 19 from 4, and that should be how much? That should be 19 minus 4 is 15, and 18 minus 4 is what? 14, and 17 minus 4 is what? It is 13, and 16 minus 4 is 15, and Okay, so अब आप basically करो ये, you can actually go on as well. So what you now need to do is that now you will check out the quantity supplied after basically the tax, right? And so in order to check the quantity that is being supplied after tax, you need to basically look at, I mean, you need to compare these prices. You need to see कि भाई at a price of $16 how much the producer is willing to supply. So let's say at a price of, so this is what the $16 is, what the price producer receives. So अगर producer को $16 मिल रहे हैं, how much is he going to supply at $16? So at $16 he was supplying 1200. ठीक है, this is यहाँ से आ रहा है 1600 by 1200. At a price of $15, the producer is willing to supply how many units? At a price of $15, he's willing to supply 990. ठीक है, at a price of $14, he's willing to supply 850. At a price of $13, he is willing to supply 780. 780. At a price of $15, हो गया ना बस, I think sorry, I think सही है. So basically now we can actually look at the equilibrium. अब equilibrium कैसे निकलेगा? Basically what you'll do is that you will check out the quantity that is basically demanded and the quantity that is being supplied. So for instance, let's say हमारे पास जो quantity demanded है वो quantity supplied पे कहाँ पे equal है? So we have quantity that is being supplied of 780. If you look at this, basically if you look at this 780 and you look at this 780, so it is showing an equilibrium. Okay, 780 and 780 are equal, and 780 and 780 are equal at a price of 17, which actually means that the price the consumer is paying. So iska demand supply diagram is going to be something like this. So you see, you have an original equilibrium at 16, right, where 1200 units are being supplied. Now we found out the new equilibrium price, that is 17, which is the price consumer pays, and at 17, right, at 17 the amount of quantity being traded is how much? 780, because this 780 and this 780 are equal. So basically 780 units are now being traded. And what is the price the producer receives? The price the producer receives is basically the price producer receives is the price consumer pays minus the tax. And if the consumer is paying $17, and if you deduct the tax, that is how much? 17 minus 4 is 13. And you can see that जहाँ पे हमारे 780 यूनिट्स आ रहे हैं, जहाँ पे हमारे ये 780 यूनिट्स आ रहे हैं, वहाँ पे जो प्राइस प्रोड्यूसर रिसीव कर रहा है वो 13 है. And which means that this is the price consumer pays, which is your new equilibrium price, by the way, E1, but the price producer receives is 13. And अगर आपके पास इस तरह एग्जाम्स में अगर ये बना हुआ होता है, आपसे अक्सर नहीं कहते कि कैलकुलेट द टैक्स पर यूनिट, तो अगर आप देख लें तो वर्टिकल डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द टू सप्लाई कर्व 17 minus 13 is the tax per unit, right? And I remember that when I was doing the syllabus throughout the AS in my classes, I taught such numerical questions to my students, where I taught them that how are these sort of questions done. So, and I'll just repeat, what you need to do is that you just need to deduct the price from this is the price consumer receives. You need to find out the price producer receives, and then the price at which, and the price that the producer receives, basically you need to find out the quantity against the quantity supplied against that, and then check out where the demand and supply are equal, right? Got it? So ठीक है. So and this actually makes sense, because अगर आप इसको देखें कि इसमें हो ही रहा है basically, okay, this is the price the producer is receiving. So if producer is receiving $13, then producer is only willing to make 780 units at $13. The producer is only willing to make 780 units at $13, right? But are these 780 units being sold at $13? No. These 780 units are not being sold at $13, because that is not the market price. The market price for these units is $17. Because although in order to make and sell 780 units, ये जो मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूँ बार बार कि ये जो प्राइस प्रोड्यूसर रिसीव आई है उसके अगेंस्ट आप क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड मेजर करेंगे, वो इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ बिकॉज the producer is willing to just make and sell 780 units at $13. यानी अगर 780 units producer को बनाने, so he just needs $13. If producer wants to make 780 units, he needs $13, right? But in order to make, so he needs $13 to make 780 units. But these 780 units are not going to be sold at $13 in the market, right? It's going to be sold at $17 in the market because that is what the market price is. And the reason why there's a difference between the price, the market price, and the price the producer would be willing to make it for is because of the tax. Because producer ki jo cost hai to make 780 units, I mean the cost to make 780 units is only $13. Producer would be willing to make 780 units at $13. Okay. सो ये मैं आपसे कहना चाह रहा था बेसिकली. सो ये जो वर्टिकल डिस्टेंस है, अच्छा ये क्वेश्चन इस तरह अगर आपसे वो ये भी पूछें, अब आपसे अगर वो पूछें कि व्हाट इज़ द अमाउंट ऑफ टैक्स, सो 17 minus 13 times 780 units would be the amount of total tax that is being paid. And you guys already know that this box is representing the amount of the consumer's burden, while this is representing the amount of the producer's burden. So इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन ऐसे निकाले जाते हैं. That's how you do such type of questions. Got it? Are we clear on this now? Is that a yes? So question number 10 का जो answer है, what would be the change in equilibrium price? The change in equilibrium price is 16 to 17. It increases by $1. Okay guys, is that a yes? Are we good with this question now? समझ आ गया सबको? ठीक है? सबको समझ आ गया है? Are you guys following what is being done here? ओ लेवल्स मॉक इंशाल्लाह फिफ्थ को पेपर है ना आपका, तो फोर्थ को एक ओ लेवल्स की लंबी स्ट्रीम होगी, 2-3 मॉक्स एक साथ होंगे फोर्थ को. जस्ट बी प्रिपेयर्ड एंड स्प्रेड द वर्ड. वील पोस्ट सून इंशाल्लाह. क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 सेज एज द प्राइस ऑफ, सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 का करेक्ट आंसर क्या है? यस गाइस, क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 का करेक्ट आंसर क्या होना चाहिए? क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 का करेक्ट आंसर इज प्रोड्यूसर सरप्लस. द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर 11 इज डी फॉर डेविड. So if the price is going to go up, the producer surplus is going to go up, right? Okay. So question number Question number 12 says the diagram shows the production possibility curve for an economy that produces goods and services. So from the diagram it can be concluded so what is the answer to question number 12? Question number 12 ka correct answer would be D for David. Points X and Y are productively efficient because all points on the PPC are productively efficient, but only one point on the PPC at that time would be allocatively efficient. Because allocative efficiency जो होती है, हुंज़िला हमें पता कैसे चला कि how did you know कि Y is allocatively efficient? You can't figure that out unless and until you are told that what is allocative efficiency. Allocative efficiency refers to the combination that is preferred and desired by society that gives the most benefit, right? That the society wants it to be produced. So how do you know that we want Y to be produced and we don't want X to be produced? So any point on the PPC, it could be X, it could be Y, it could be Z, it could be, I don't know, maybe M. Any point on the PPC could be allocatively efficient, and that would depend upon what the society prefers at that time. But every point on the PPC is productively efficient, and any combination inside the PPC is productively inefficient. Question number 13, which policy is most likely to reduce a country's Gini coefficient? Now you guys know what you guys know that Question number 13, where you guys know that what the Gini coefficient is. Gini coefficient is basically measures, it's a measure of income inequality. So if you increase the minimum wages, it is basically going to reduce the Gini coefficient. See, when you're saying that the Gini coefficient reduces, reducing the Gini coefficient means reducing inequality. So if you're reducing the Gini coefficient, you're trying to reduce income inequality, and a way to reduce income inequality is by increasing the minimum wages. And what that would do is that when you increase the minimum wages, basically a lot of people who were at the bottom income levels, who weren't really paid good wages, would now benefit from higher wages. So it would reduce the disparity between the rich and the poor. That's what makes C the correct answer. Question number 14, the diagram below shows the original market demand and supply curves. From the above diagram, it could be concluded that the equilibrium price of fresh strawberries falls from 5 per kg to 4, and the price elasticity of supply. And okay, so you need to calculate the PES. Correct answer क्या होगा 14 का? The correct answer to question number 14, guys, is what? The way to calculate this is that it is not D for David. No, beta. No, sorry. It is D for David. My bad. It is unitary elastic. PES equals to percentage change in QS upon percentage change in price. Now the original price is, I think, 5 and 100, and this is P1 Q1, and the new quantity supplied would be 80 and P2. So just calculate the percentage changes. P1 is 5, Q1 is 100, P2 is 4, Q2 is 80, and just calculate the percentage change in quantity supplied, and you divide that by the percentage change in price, so you get the price elasticity of supply. And the PES हमारे पास क्या आ रही है? Unitary आ रही है. And by the way, if a lot of, by the way, इसमें आपको you didn't even have to calculate this. If you calculate it will, अगर आप इसको formula में भी calculate करें, even if you put all these values in the formula, the answer would be equal to 1, which is unitary. But you guys must also see that the supply curve is starting from the origin, and the supply curve starts from the origin, the PES is always equals to 1. That is what I have taught during my courses, and also I have a YouTube video on this as well, so you guys can check that out. And not only, and it is going to be same along the entire supply curve, along all points of the supply curve, right? So it is not going to change. Elasticity is not going to change along the supply curve that starts from the origin, so it's going to be equal to 1 at all points. Okay guys, question number 15 says, the correct answer to question number 15 would be C for Charlie, and the question says income elasticity of demand for baked beans is -4. Weekly sales of baked beans are 73,000. If household incomes fall 5%, what the new weekly sales would be how much? Pretty simple question. Income elasticity of demand is -0.4. So percentage change in quantity supplied upon the income 5%. Income fall हो रही है ना? So if income is falling and this is minus, this means that the percentage change in quantity demanded must be positive. It means that demand is going up. So if income is falling and demand is going up, means baked beans are inferior goods. Okay, so it's an inferior good. So 5 times 0.4, जो भी answer आएगा, मतलब pretty simple. So G, what would be the correct answer for this? For question number 15, G, C आएगा ना? C answer है ना इसका? ठीक है, हो जाएगा. I think pretty simple. So this should be 5 times 0.4, and that should be plus 2% increase हो रही है. So 73,000 are the weekly sales, and they are going up by 2%, which means that 73,000 को आप 1.02 से multiply कर दें. So that should be 74,460 are the new weekly sales, right? So inferior goods हैं ये, right? But inferior inelastic है, because elasticity is -4 less than 1. But anyways, question number 16 says what is question number 16? Yes, question number 16, guys. What is the correct answer? Come on guys, मैं आपके सारे comments देख रहा हूँ क्या answers आ रहे हैं. Question number 16. अच्छा, by the way, सबने time पे complete कर लिया था, right? Everyone finished the paper on time, and हम अपने mocks का सिलसिला we'll continue that, and I'll also try to somehow fit in the yearly papers as well, maybe at a different time for that, because now we need to work hard. We need to make sure that we get 30 on 30 in paper 1 so that we can get a very good score in our overall, because A2 में scores हमारे decline करते हैं, A2 में grades decline करते हैं because ऑलरेडी बहुत प्रेशर होता है, SAT का प्रेशर होता है, प्लस कभी कभी कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स में रीटेक्स हो जाते हैं. सो A2 is going to be very very tough. So we need to make sure that and economics at A2 is tough, by the way. It's very challenging. So we need to make sure that we get the best scores in paper 1. Question number 16, the correct answer would be what? Question number 16, the correct answer would be C for Charlie. That is absolutely correct, because when the signaling function of the price basically refers to how the changes in the price is going to communicate information to consumers and producers, and a higher price is going to signal the scarcity, the relative scarcity, and the value of the product, that the product is now in high demand, right? So it's going to guide resource allocation accordingly. So there would be producers would start producing more of it because now the good is scarce. So the rising prices would then the signaling function would ultimately convert into the incentive function as well, and then so on and so forth. But this is a clear-cut definition about the scarcity ka function. Got it? So the correct answer is C. It's simply telling that the product is short, it's scarce, and it has high value. People are willing to pay more of it because the demand has gone up of it. So that is why we need to produce more of it now. So ये signal जा रहा है producers को. Question number 22, an economy reports the following data for the current year. For the year, GDP is given. What is the value of GDP at factor cost? Now, the correct formula to calculate the GDP at factor cost is that you take out the GDP at factor cost, and uske andar you add GDP at market prices, and then you deduct indirect taxes from it, and you add the subsidies from it. In it, right? So GDP at market prices आपको already given है 1200. You will deduct taxes 180. You will add subsidy 60, and आपके पास GDP आ जाएगी at factor cost, right? So the correct answer for question number 17 should be C for Charlie, 1080 billion. 17 should be Charlie. Guys, 17 is Charlie. 17 Charlie hai. 17 Charlie hai. Question number 18 says the diagram shows two aggregate demand and two LRASs. So the country's initial equilibrium जो है वो point E1 पर है. All the other things being equal, which of the following combinations of macroeconomic policies A, B, C, D is likely to have moved the economy to a new equilibrium? So वैसे तो monetary policy, if you reduce the interest rates, AD will go up, but reducing interest rates will also shift the LRAS, because firms would expand and they would invest more, and that would also have an impact on LRAS. But also reduction in direct taxes would boost disposable incomes, increase AD by boosting consumption. But it can also have an impact on LRAS, because it could maybe boost the productivity of the workers, and plus productivity of the workers could go up, that could boost LRAS. Plus economies that have low levels of income taxes also encourage a lot of immigration from skilled workers as well, because over there you have low tax environment. So that is also another reason for increasing the quantity of the workforce that causes LRAS to shift outwards. Question number 19. Yes, guys, question number 19 says, is this last P1 live stream? No, beta, this is not a last P1 live stream. When did I say that? How are you even assuming? It is not a last P1 live stream. Question number 19. 18 will be, what is question number 19, guys? How many of you were able to attempt question 19? Question number 19. Yes, guys. Question number 19. Shayan says A. Faizan says A. Super Shayan and Faizan, if you ended up with A, so that is perfect. Yes. What is the correct answer of बेटा P3 की live streams का अभी कुछ पता नहीं है, because my A2 students are already pretty much sorted and we have a very active group. So and we have done extensively. A2 mein a lot of my students have sorted. So, but yes, I know you guys, my YouTube students, are also they do want me to keep the A2 P3 live streams, which I will. So I will be doing P3 live streams on YouTube, but your paper is on the 11th of June, so just hang on a bit. I'll do a few papers towards the end. Question number 19 कह रहा है an economy is in equilibrium, हमारे पास balance. So I want you to focus over here. The government has a balanced budget. If the government has a balanced budget, it means that there is neither a deficit nor a surplus. Budget deficit भी नहीं है, surplus भी नहीं है, which means that the government spending is equals to tax revenues. The trade balance shows a surplus, which means that X is greater than M, and the total household savings amount to 180. Based on this information, what is the level of investment? Now you need to understand, if you've seen my circular flow videos on YouTube, it was taught to you guys, had you seen those videos, and that a country's macroeconomic equilibrium occurs when the withdrawals are equals to injections, right? Now if you look at the withdrawals, what are withdrawals? Withdrawals are मतलब withdrawals क्या होते हैं? बल्कि इसको मैं यूँ लिख लेता हूँ, मेरे लिए थोड़ा convenient होगा. J equals to W. कोई मतलब एक ही बात है, लेकिन मैंने I just prefer bringing things on the left hand side actually. So what is the level of J represents your injections, and if you look at what are the level of injections in the economy, क्या क्या होती हैं injections? Can you start commenting? Comments में लिखा करें ना, आप बताएं, so that I know that you guys are even listening and you guys are not sleeping, so you guys are participating. क्या होती हैं? What are injections? Injections होती हैं आपकी investment spending, in government spending and exports is equals to withdrawals. क्या होते हैं आपके? savings plus taxes plus imports. Now हमारे पास यहाँ पर क्या क्या दिया हुआ है? हमारे पास savings दी हुई है 180. So हमारे पास savings 180 दी हुई है. Now what we need to do is that we will now rearrange this equation. We will rearrange this equation in a way that I am going to be, what I'll do is that this is I, that this is the value that we need to find out. ठीक है? Minus, I'll bring S on this side of the equation, minus S is equals to ठीक है, is equals to the fact that I am gonna what I'll do is that T minus G plus M minus X, right? Now basically हमारे पास जो M minus X है और X minus M मैं लूँ, that this is basically the M minus X is, or X minus M is simply showing your net exports, right? This is your net exports. और net exports हमारे पास surplus में है 40. अच्छा चलो शुरू से देखते हैं. So I minus, what is the level of savings? How much is the level of savings? Savings is 180 is equals to T minus G. T minus G is representing a balanced budget. देखें इस बात को आप समझें. If T is less than G, it is a deficit. If T is more than G, or G is less than T, it is a surplus. If T minus G equals 0, which means that T has to be equal to G, it means that there is no surplus, no deficit, balanced budget. The government has a balanced budget, which means that T minus G is equal to 0. तो मैं T minus G की जगह यहाँ 0 लिख दूंगा. Plus M minus X is simply showing your net exports. So net exports हमारे पास यहाँ पे surplus में है, right? Which means that X is more than M. So M minus X की वैल्यू मैं यहाँ पे positive 40 लिख रहा हूँ because it is a surplus, right? So I is equals to plus 40. I is equals to plus 40. एक मिनट, कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी मैंने? Sorry. I think मैंने कुछ just let me see कि मैंने यहाँ पे क्या गड़बड़ की है. This has to be, I think मैंने, this has to be household. अच्छा ये plus ये I minus S is equals to T minus G0 plus yeah, so ठीक है ना. तो अच्छा मैंने M minus X लिखा हुआ है ना इसको, ठीक है, my bad, सॉरी, मैंने इसको M minus X लिखा हुआ है. सो M minus, अगर मैं इसको मैं यहाँ पे M minus X लिख रहा हूँ, so if I'm writing this M minus X, so I should write it minus 40. if I'm writing it x minus m, so I should write it plus 40, right? तो ये मैंने, my bad, because m minus x is so this is so the value of I has to so ये हो जाएगा आपका minus 40, ठीक है, plus 180, and I would be equal to how much? I would be equal to minus 40 plus 180, that should give you 140, right? So the correct answer to this should be minus 40 plus 180, and A is the correct answer. Okay, A would be the correct answer for this MCQ. ठीक है, गॉट इट? हमने किस तरीके से किया है, सबको समझ आया किस तरीके से हुआ है? मैं इसकी वर्किंग को फिर से कर देता हूं. I प्लस, मतलब अगर मैं इसको यूं लिखूं, ठीक है, इफ आई एम राइटिंग इट लाइक दिस, सेविंग प्लस टैक्सेस प्लस इंपोर्ट्स इज इक्वल्स टू investment plus government spending plus your exports, and this should basically be, saving is your how much is your saving? Saving is 180. Saving is 180. मैं इसमें I को यहाँ माइनस पे ले जा, मतलब you know I make it minus I equals to government spending minus taxation plus X minus M, and 180 minus I equals to, this is 0 plus 40, so minus I equals to, because x minus m 40 है ना, तो जब मैं m minus x लिख रहा था और surplus था, अगर m minus x लिख रहा हूँ और मैथमेटिकली मतलब surplus है तो minus 40 लिखना चाहिए था ना मुझे, ठीक है, समझ आ गई बात? x minus m है तो 40 लिखूंगा, minus m plus x लिख रहा हूँ तो minus 40 लिखूंगा ना. So 40 minus 180, so minus I equals to minus 140. This gets cancelled, so I की वैल्यू हमारे पास इन्वेस्टमेंट is simply 140. So इन्वेस्टमेंट हमारे पास क्या आ रही है? इन्वेस्टमेंट की वैल्यू हमारे पास 140 आ रही है, और ये क्वेश्चन इस तरीके से हुआ है. That's how this question has been done. It's a simple, it's just a trick question where the concepts of equilibrium has been used, and you just need to put your thought process into it. So question number 19 ka correct answer is basically what? It is basically alpha. Sorry, alpha. Got it everyone? Is it clear sabka? ठीक है? Clear है? Is that a yes? Is that a yes? ठीक है, okay. So question number 20 says, which of the following transactions would be recorded as a debit in the current account of a country's balance of payment? Okay. So a domestic firm exports to a foreign buyer, a foreign company pays dividend to domestic investors, a resident travels abroad and spends 5,000 on tourism. You guys are saying C for Charlie. Yes. So a resident that travels abroad and spends 5,000 on tourism would be recorded in the current account, and this would be recorded as an outflow of money from the country. It would be recorded as a debit, because it is basically, it will be recorded as this is representing an import of service. This is an import of service, would be recorded as an outflow debit. Question number 21. जी बेटा 21 says, and if you guys have been attending my past streams, up 21 तो you guys must have solved very easily. It's not a difficult question. Question number 21, the table below shows CPI, base year prices or current year prices. The easy way to do is, if you guys remember the way we have been doing it is that we have been calculating price changes. So price changes nikale, and then you multiply it by the weights, and then you calculate the weighted price changes, right? These are weighted price changes. So what are the price changes? If you calculate the price changes, so जो food है, इसकी food की बात कर लेते हैं. You have food, you have clothing, and then you have transport. So food की price from the base year, it increased to 12. So how much is the percentage increase? Beta percentage increase nikalo, this would be 20%. So it's going up by 20%. The clothing prices are going up by how much? They're going up by 25%. The transport is basically going up by how much? It is going up by 20%. So ये आपके पास price changes हैं, but these are not the weighted price changes. You need to multiply it by the weights because that gives the relative importance and the amount of expenditure that the basket of the goods would consume. So it reflects the true expenditure patterns and how much is basically spent. So weighted सबसे ज़्यादा food की है. So you multiply the price changes with the weight. So what you'll do is कि ये basically आपकी percentages दी हुई हैं, right? So just multiply 20 by 0.4. So 20 times 0.4 is 8%. Say this is your weighted price increase. This is 25 times 0.3, that is 7.5% से increase हो रही है, और 20% times 0.3, that is 6% से. देखिए हम इसको weight से multiply कर रहे हैं because this is ये truly reflect कर रहा है ना. मतलब आप ठीक है, prices जो हैं वो जैसे कि मिसाल के तौर पे आप बोलो कि भाई जैसे क्लोथिंग है, अब क्लोथिंग की प्राइसेस 25% से बढ़ रही हैं, ठीक है, फूड की प्राइसेस ज़्यादा से बढ़ रही हैं. लेकिन अगर आप इन वैल्यूज़ को ले लोगे तो ये बास्केट को ट्रूली रिप्रेजेंट नहीं कर रहा, बिकॉज क्लोथिंग पे इतना खर्चा नहीं हो रहा जितना फूड पे हो रहा है. तो आपको उसको फूड के वेट से मल्टीप्लाई करो, ठीक है, ताकि द प्राइस चेंजेस जो हमारे पास आए हैं, यानी जो इन्फ्लेशन रेट हो, वो ट्रूली बास्केट ऑफ गुड्स का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव होना चाहिए. तो आपके पास 8%, 7.5 and 6%. इफ यू ऐड देम अप, 8 plus 7.5 plus 6 is 21.5. So 21.5 is technically the inflation rate. या कि inflation rate है. This is the rate of inflation in the current year. And since they are asking for an index, so you just add it. आप base year में इसको add कर दें, 100 plus 21.5 कर दें, which is how much? Which is 121.5. So the correct answer for 21 should be boy. ठीक है. 22. 4 countries A, B, C, D trade internationally. Each diagram represents a free trade area. Free trade area का मतलब है कि countries ने they have decided that they are not going to be doing any trade protection, or they're not going to be, they're just eliminating all sort of trade barriers between them. So एक ये आपके पास country है, इसमें इस area में हमारे पास we have C, we have A, we have B. So they are trading amongst each other without any trade barriers. I think ये क्वेश्चन हमें लाइव स्ट्रीम में भी बाय द वे किया है. अ कंट्री कैन बिलो. उसके बाद एक और हमारे पास ट्रेड एरिया है, इसमें 2 कंट्रीज़ हैं आपस में, ए और बी के दरमियान आपस में भी वो है एग्रीमेंट है. एंड देन यू हैव अनदर फ्री ट्रेड एरिया विच इज़ एंड इन दैट अनदर फ्री ट्रेड एरिया यू हैव डी ओनली, सॉरी यू हैव डी एंड बी, मैंने गलत बनाया इसको. द अनदर, दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट. So the first circle consists of, the first circle consists of 3 countries. The second circle consists of 2 countries, and then you have the third circle. Then you have the third circle that consists of 2 countries again. That is B and D. So B and D is also in a different free trade area where they have said that B and D के दरमियान भी आपस में there's trade where so basically B is the one who's going to benefit the most because B can trade with C without any trade barriers. B and A can trade without trade barriers. B and D as well. So B is the one who's going to benefit the greatest opportunity from free trade because B is in 3 different, more than 1 free trade areas, in 3 different free trade areas. So B is the correct answer to question number 22. Question number 23 says a country has a fixed exchange rate and a deficit. डी वैल्यूज. अब इसको फिक्स एक्सचेंज रेट, अब आप बोलेंगे फिक्स एक्सचेंज रेट सिलेबस में नहीं है, मुझे पता है नहीं है, लेकिन ये आंसर, इसमें कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है, ये एएस का ही एमसीक्यू है. इट डी वैल्यूज द करेंसी को आप डेप्रिशिएट्स बोल दें इन एन एफर्ट टू करेक्ट इट्स बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट. अंडर विच कंडीशंस इज द डेफिसिट मोस्ट लाइकली टू इम्प्रूव. सो the deficit will most likely improve when the price elasticity of demand for imports and exports is greater than 1. So the PED for imports and your exports together is greater than 1, right? So when the currency depreciates, the price of exports goes down and the demand for exports goes up, and the price of imports goes down and the price of imports goes up and the demand for imports goes down, which means that currency depreciation or devaluation should improve net exports. But net exports will only, if the net exports is going up, it means that X is greater than M. And this is only going to happen if the PED for imports and the PED of exports together is greater than 1, right? which means that 0.4 plus 0.8 together is 1.2 is greater than 1. तो अगर आपकी भले आपकी इंडिविजुअली एक्सपोर्ट्स और इम्पोर्ट्स की डिमांड इनइलास्टिक है, बट टुगेदर इफ इट इज ग्रेटर देन 1, then your current account balance position will improve because net exports should rise. And regarding income elasticity of demand for imports, income elasticity of demand for imports का मतलब है कि if there are changes in income, that is there's a recession or something or boom, then what will be the impact on the demand for imports? So for question number 23, the correct answer should be D for David, because high income elasticity of imports is income elasticity of imports is elastic because it suggests that, see, we have a recession, right? So if we have a recession, then incomes are falling. So if incomes are going down, then imports will go down as well. And if imports will go down because we have a high income elasticity of imports in a recession, so BOP should improve and imports will go down. So BOP should improve because of that. D is the correct answer. Question number 24 says an economy reported the following international transactions during the year: exports, imports of goods worth 450. It received 30 in primary income. So 30 primary income में भी receive हुआ है. Okay, so what is the correct answer? See, current account balance जो होता है आपका, that is basically balance of trade in goods and services, ठीक है, in goods and services, plus your primary income or net factor income, which is your primary income plus, so इसको मैं primary income plus secondary income बोल रहा हूँ. So this is primary income plus your secondary income, this is your net factor income, this is your transfers basically, ठीक है, this includes your transfers. So balance of trade and goods कैसे निकलेंगे? Goods का balance कैसे निकलेगा? 400 minus 450, ठीक है, plus 120 minus 100 is the services का balance, because services is export of service 120, import of service 100 है. So 120 minus 100 plus primary income balance is 30 million billion being received minus 50 is basically paid as net factor income, and 30 is received as net factor income, plus how much are the transfers? Current transfers like remittances and aids amounting to an inflow of 20. So there's an inflow positive of 20 million, right? So if you calculate a numerical value, you should come up to 400 minus 30. So minus 30 is a current account deficit. So current account deficit is A for alpha, negative 30. Question number 25 says, which of the following is the most unlikely unintended consequence of sustained protectionist policies as high tariffs and import quotas? Yes. Which of the following is the most important yes guys, question number 25, the correct answer to question number 25 is C. You guys are saying C. C for Charlie. Retaliatory measures by trade partners would reduce export opportunities. That makes sense because, see, they're saying unintended consequences of sustained protectionism policy. So obviously at one point your major trading partners would retaliate, so it would result into trade wars and it would just reduce your export opportunities, because if they impose the retaliatory protectionism on you, so your exports would go down. So C is the correct answer, because retaliatory measures by trade partners would reduce export, and again the fact that export opportunities are going down. So 25C, Charlie, is the correct answer. Question number 26 says, in 2022, country A exports index was 110, import index was 100 in 23. Okay, so terms of trade का formula आपको पता है, it is basically export price index upon import price index times 100. Times 100 means you need to convert this ratio into an index number. So 2022 में जो हमारा आ रहा है, 2022 का जो the index in 2022 is 110 divided by 100 times 100, and that is 110. And the TOT in 2023 is, again, the export price index is 132 divided by import price index 120 times 100. That should come up to 110 as well. So there's a 0% change on TOT. So 26 should be A for alpha, no change. ठीक है. Question number 27 says during a fiscal year a government collected 420 billion. G. Question number 27. Yes guys, question number 27 says the government collected what? The government collected 420 billion from personal income taxes and 300 billion from corporate taxes, 250 billion from 250 billion from value added tax, 80 billion from import duties. Then you have excise taxes. Based on this data, 90 billion from property tax. Based on this data, what was the total revenue from direct tax? Yes, what is the correct answer for question number 30? Now, direct taxes जो होते हैं आपके basically see personal income tax, your personal income tax is a direct tax, ठीक है? So 420, we're going to take 420. Corporate tax is a direct tax, we're going to take 300. Property tax is a direct tax as well, ठीक है? It's a direct tax as well, and it makes sense because the more the property, the more your tax. So it's a direct tax, it's not an expenditure tax. Indirect taxes, expenditure taxes. So 90, if you add them up, your correct answer should be 810 billion. 810. So 27 should be Charlie. Are we correct? Are we correct? Is that a yes? Question number 28. Yes, 28. 28 का क्या होगा? During an economic downturn, the government of country X increases infrastructure in spending and cut income taxes to stimulate demand. However, at the same time, the central bank raises interest rates to tackle inflation caused by a global commodity price. Which of the following best describes the likely macroeconomic outcomes of these simultaneous? Yes, Samra, property tax is a direct tax, beta. Which of the following best describes the likely macroeconomic outcome of these simultaneous policy actions? So 28 ka answer, what is 28? Hunzila says 28 is C. Yes, 28 is C. 28 बिल्कुल C है, because you see, एक तरफ you're increasing infrastructure spending, which is you're increasing government spending, and you're cutting income taxes. So this is expansionary fiscal policy, but then you're increasing interest rates, so that is contractionary monetary policy, right? So expansionary fiscal policy and contractionary monetary policy may offset each other, and it may reduce the overall effectiveness of the policy. So, I remember that when we used to study for paper 2, now you guys are way ahead of it, but ek zamana tha jab you guys used to study for paper 2 and we used to be doing live streams, and during my courses as well we talked about, this is an evaluation, bhi hum isko samajh lein, valid for paper 4 as well, that monetary policy and fiscal policy needs to be coordinated. जो हम एंड में कंक्लूजन नहीं लिखते थे जजमेंट में कि वी शुड हैव कोऑर्डिनेटेड पॉलिसी अप्रोचेस जजमेंट में, सो इट कांट गो इन ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शंस, राइट, and will offset the effects. Question number 29 says which combination of changes is most likely to lead to an increase in aggregate price level and the level of real GDP, real output? Question number 29, the correct answer to question number 29 is what? 29 should be increase in price level and the level of real output. Na? So boy, because when a fall in income tax is going to result in more disposable incomes, higher consumption, so AD will rise, price level will rise, and net exports will increase. So AD is rising, and then it will also increase real output, real GDP will increase as well. So you have AD going up from the external sector as well through rising net exports. So AD rises, it leads to a real output increase and the price level increase, because obviously firms expand output, so real GDP goes up. Question 30, which of the following is a positive statement? Positive statement are those statements that are testable and they can be tested with evidence, and then it could be rejected, accepted, or amended, and they are objective statements. So question number 30 ka the correct answer should be unemployment is at 8% this year, so this is a positive statement. Yep. it is a positive statement. Unemployment is 8% this year. अब unemployment 8% है कि नहीं है ये check हो सकता है, verified हो सकता है. So this और rest of them are value based, opinion based statements. Question number 31 गलती से I think in fact I think आपको एक extra वो दे दिया था. But which of the following is most likely to increase economic growth? So the answer to question number 31 is B for boy. And more investment and factories, because definitely this will increase economic growth, potential growth definitely. And so higher interest rates भी नहीं है, C भी नहीं है, and D भी नहीं होगा इसका answer. So B is the correct answer. Now क्या क्या आपके like what did you guys end up getting? What sort of scores did you end up getting? किस किस के 31 में से 30 आए हैं, किस किस के 31 में से 29 आए हैं, किस किस के 31 out of 31 आए हैं. Yes guys, I would really like to know your scores. And before we leave, I would want to tell you कि हम कल भी इंशाल्लाह कोशिश करते हैं स्ट्रीम करने की. I'll just get back with my team and most probably post another. You want me to keep more of these mocks, because ये mocks time करके बहुत important है, because इसमें आप under pressure कर रहे हो, उसी वक्त कर रहे हो. So a lot of students could end up making silly mistakes as well. So another mock, what do you guys say? Okay. And second thing that I need to okay, and obviously the difficulty levels would increase as well. Simran says, sir, tomorrow May June 29 90 I'm actually weighing up these two options. Should I stream 2019 ka paper tomorrow, or should I keep another mock? Or the second option is that we can keep another mock tomorrow. We could stream 2019 and then we could keep a mock on the 4th. Now you guys will say no, on the 5th we have an accounts paper. Well, then it's just MCQ accounts, so you don't want to be studying the whole day. You can take a 1-2 hour economics mock break as well. So I mean, what do you guys think? Okay, so देखते हैं. I'll need to check, because I need to keep another mock as well, by the way. So, or we can keep another mock probably after the 5th, but then accounts paper 4th को है. Accounts paper is 4th, or is it 5th? Is it 4th or it's 5th? Yeah, mocks are effective. Bhai, I have prepared like 4, 5 mocks for you guys, and these are difficult mocks. These are those sort of mocks that would challenge you, because these are, you need to time them, right? So just like we did, spread the news about these mocks to your colleagues and to your peers and your friends, because these mocks are timed. So let them know that this is how the format is and this is how we do these mocks. So that during that time, you guys have to attempt the mock, and there's a timer on. So obviously there's pressure, because right, because MCQs pressure में भी करने आने चाहिए ना. पेपर्स तो आपने प्रैक्टिस करके, जब आप लोगों ने पेपर 2 की प्रैक्टिस टाइम करके की थी. हेलो मिस्टर और मिस सोया सॉस, whoever you are, but hello. ठीक है, MCQ का पेपर 4th को है, तो फिर कल नहीं करते मॉक, फिर परसों करते हैं. 4th को मॉक करते हैं. आई थॉट 5th को है, तो कल मेजॉरिटी शायद बच्चे मॉक, आई थिंक MCQ अकाउंट्स के लिए भी पढ़ेंगे ना. सो कल प्रॉब्ली वील स्ट्रीम 2019. Okay, tomorrow we'll stream 2019, and then on the 4th let's do the mock on the 4th. What do you guys say? ठीक है. So these set of mocks are अब जो second mock होगा, it would be a bit more challenging than this mock, but yeah. Okay guys, are we good? So I think 5th, let's keep the second mock on the 4th. ठीक है, और कल we'll stream 2019. गुड है, ठीक है. Okay guys, see you, all the best, study hard, make me proud, and I'll see you. Allah Hafiz.